Okay, so very good evening to all of you. We are live. So this is the first time we are doing this YouTube live. पहली बार हम YouTube live कर रहे हैं. I'm so happy and excited. Welcome you all and thank you very much for being a part of this community. So आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है. So this is the first time, by the way, we are doing lives. I hope all things goes well. Okay, so what is that we are going to study today? So today we will study about a new tool, right? It's not a new tool. It although came in November 2022 and really it has blown away so many people's mind. तो ये जो tool आया था ChatGPT 2022 में नवंबर 2022 में launch हुआ था. And yes, we people from manufacturing, yes, we can also use this tool for our own benefit. जी हाँ, हम भी इस tool का इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. So एक बार मुझे एक बार comment में type कर दीजिए if you are able to listen to me. अगर आपको मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है and if you are able to hear me right, so please type in the chat so that I know that you are able to hear me. And yes, एक बार जल्दी से chat में type कर दीजिए yes या voice audible या something like that so that I know that that I am audible. Okay, so it seems that voice is okay. Great. So thank you very much. Thanks very much for the confirmation. Okay, so a very warm welcome to all of you. This is my first YouTube live. I'm so excited. Of course, this is for the first time I'm doing. So maybe we did some practice about technology because there's a lot of thing like which is involved. It is not like Zoom. Like Zoom की तरह नहीं है कि you go to Zoom and then you click share. Of course, there are some integration. So we are using this something called OBS, and then there are multiple things like we need to do. But yes, the idea is that if we share this in YouTube so that many of you will be able to watch this and you'll be able to share this with your friends. You'll be able to share this with other learners, those who might get benefit out of this particular session. Okay, so let's get into this. So चलिए शुरू करते हैं. So I'm so excited. So if you look at like many of you might be coming for the first time and some of you already might be a part of a community. आप में से कुछ learners हैं जो पहली बार आ रहे होंगे. So very warm welcome to all of you, and some of you are already a part of our community. Some of you are already part of our like membership. So thank you very much everyone, and I'm so happy that we are here and we are doing this YouTube live. Okay, so those who are coming for the first time, let me give a very short introduction of myself. I'm Arun Sharma. I'm basically an engineer turned quality professional turned corporate trainer, and presently I'm founder and CEO at Submastery. So Submastery is a education platform. We are working and helping manufacturing working professionals, manufacturing professional like you, so that you can grow in your career, so that you can get learning outcome like increase in salary, increase in status, increase in pay, increase in confidence through our online courses and certification. You can check out, there's a link right somewhere in the chat, and we will also put that in a description. We do a lot of courses and we do have like thousands of members, and there are 100 plus like success stories where people have got benefited, and this is what we love to do, right? Okay, so without now further putting too much time, so let's talk about the internal auditing. Okay, so how many people how many people do internal audit? You can type in chat. Even if you're watching this in a recording, I would recommend you type in the chat because that will keep the session interactive. Even if you're watching live, you can write yes in the chat. How many of you do audits, right? Internal audits. When it comes to, it can be any audit. It can be quality management system audit. 9001 का audit हो सकता है. It can be 14001 which is environment management system. It can be 45001 which is occupational health and safety, and it can be your IATF which is IATF 16949 automotive quality management system audit. ये कोई भी audit हो सकता है. How many of you have done any audit, internal audit until now? You can type yes in the comment. If you have not done, you can write no in the comment, right? अगर आपने अभी तक audit नहीं किया है, you can write no in the comment. Yeah. So I will there, of course there's a lag, right? Because when I speak and when I like see in the chat, of course there will be some latency, some lag, but still I think I'll be able to manage. Okay, so if you see, right, one big challenge which comes to internal auditor, what's one big challenge? One big challenge that internal auditors, like how they are supposed to do internal audits. So of course, like they need to have knowledge of standard requirement. Number one, okay, उनको standard की knowledge होनी चाहिए. They should be aware about the clause requirement. That's the number one requirement. Number two, at the same time, they should also be aware about their company specific procedures and SOPs. So they should be aware about like what is written in the SOP, right? What is their company specific procedure? They should be aware about that. And the third, they should also be aware about customer specific requirement. उनको CSR के बारे में, that is customer specific requirements. They must have the CSR metrics or CSR summary, which generally is very very helpful when it comes to especially automotive QMS audit, which is IATF 16949. It become more mandatory. Okay, so these are some of the basic requirements. Of course, if you are doing audit of, let's say, the in the automotive QMS standard, you are doing this audit, you also need to have knowledge of core tools. Let's say, not everyone, but let's say you are doing audit of QA, quality assurance. Okay, so in that case, you need to have knowledge of SPC, statistical process control. You need to have knowledge of MSA. Let's say you are doing audit of the new product development or engineering. In that case, you need to have knowledge of APQP, and you need to have knowledge of PPAP and FME, right? Of course, if you're doing audit of human resource or purchase, maintenance, you might not need the knowledge of core tools. But for that reason, like whenever you do planning of audits, whenever you do planning of internal audits, and it might be like system people, when they do this planning of audit, they do audit in such a way that the auditor, the person who's doing an audit, should be competent in that particular area. Okay, this is very very important. Okay, so one thing which I want to stress upon, and the magic which I would like to show you, most of the time we think that what if we have a reference, what if we have a check sheet. I know many of like my clients, I got opportunity in the to help 106 plus companies in the implementation of various quality and occupational health and safety and environment management systems. So I got this opportunity. I have seen that many companies use checklist. Yes, many companies use internal audit checklist. So you can also tell me in the chat if your company is using checklist or not, right? Yes, you can also type in the chat if your company is using checklist. Is it mandatory? The answer is no. Checklist is not mandatory. The idea is that you must have something like called audit observation sheet. The audit observation sheet mandatory, where you write down what are the audit observation points, right? But as such, the internal check sheet is not mandatory. Right? You will not get non-conformity if you don't have check sheet. But of course, many companies use that. And if you are not using check sheet, then in that case, obviously you need to have something called audit observation sheet, like the way external auditor do. Like what external auditor do, they do not follow any checklist. External auditor, आप देखो वो checklist follow नहीं करते. Those who come from the certification body, they use audit observation sheet where they write down the observation, right? So checklist has its own advantage and disadvantage. So I'll tell you quickly, right? The benefit of checklist is this: it can help the new people, new auditors, like new internal auditors, to do better audits. Like even if they are less competent, even if they are new, but with the help of checklist, they will be able to cover a lot many points. That's a good advantage. Number two big advantage with checklist is this: like even a person, like he will be able to cover most of the points. Like whatever is defined the checklist, the auditor will be able to cover that. So in that case, it become comprehensive, and they will be able to cover many points which is given the checklist, and so that there are less chances that they will leave anything important, right? So that's also a big advantage of checklist. Well, there are many other advantages, but are there any disadvantages? So yes, there could be some disadvantages. For example, checklists sometimes make auditor lazy, and you must have seen in the external audits, even like in the supplier audits, not the external audit, but in the audits, when people go for go to audit their supplier, you must have seen that they use big checklist. Even your customer, when come to you, they use a big checklist of 2 or 3 points. Though at 3 point they'll be going in depth, and after that there's a pressure of time, and then it will be a tick mark activity. So what happens if you do not get sufficient time? Then checklist become a tick mark activity. So that is also a disadvantage of checklist, and for that reason you see that external auditor will never use checklist. Why? The external certification body auditor, why they will not use checklist? Because checklist unnecessarily put pressure unnecessary. I sometimes do not allow you to do trail based audit or the linkage based audit and cross verification like that. So it basically restricts you, right? And the idea is that why external certification body auditors, especially, they will not use checklist. The reason is, listen carefully, the reason is because they do not want to cover all the 100% points. Idea ये नहीं कि मैं 100% cover कर लूँ, right? The idea is to go in depth with certain points so that they can find out better. They can see whether the audit, whether your standard is effective or not. That's the whole idea. So if you look at like whether checklist should be used or not, so there could be a debate, right? There could be both pros and cons. However, you can also type in chat and you can also write in comment what is your opinion, what is your advice, what do you think, right? Even if you're watching this in recording, please do write in comment. I will definitely read each and every comment. Okay, I will try to reply to those comments as well. What do you think, if checklist should be used or checklist should not be used, or what do you think are the other advantages of using checklist, or what do you think are the disadvantages of using checklist? Okay, yeah, so many of you, like, in my opinion, right, if somebody is a new auditor, right, then definitely they should use checklist. They can use checklist in internal audit, but somebody who's an expert auditor, I don't see them using checklist, because the idea is not to find 100 points or cover everything. The idea is, it's a sample based audit. The idea is to go in depth, do cross verification, basically, which become easy if you are using not using checklist, right? But however, it's up to you. So if your organization is using checklist, it's pretty good. The best thing is that the best checklist will be those checklists, listen carefully, that will be customized as per your organization requirement. I'm repeating this again. Okay, best checklist will be those checklists which will be customized as per your organization requirement, which will be customized as per your SOP, which will be customized as per your customer specific requirement. So you need to put some time, right? What happened, like, let's say you have done some audit and after some time you find that, oh, this thing is lacking checklist, so you can put those in checklist and you can make your checklist strong. So that's the recommendation. So best thing क्या है कि आप अपनी checklist strong करते रहो based on the audit, based on the feedback, based on the learnings, and you make that, you don't use any, there are so many, I know, in the Google internet there are thousands of check sheets which are available. There are many generic check sheets which are available. They may not be of too much use, वो आपको बहुत ज़्यादा काम नहीं आएंगी. So best thing is that you customize that as per your organization requirements, right? Okay, so today the agenda is something very different, right? And that is using, let's assume that you are given a responsibility, right? Let's say that you are given a responsibility to audit the maintenance department, or you are given an audit responsibility to do audit of human resource department, and let's suppose there are no checklist. Okay, so can you make your own checklist? Or the thing is that you may or may not use those checklists, but you can use that checklist as a reference. Reference to हम use कर ही सकते हैं ना, nobody stops that. So you can use the checklist as a reference, and there are two ways. One thing is a hard way, of course, like, which I also did that, and this is what is also recommended, but that is like reading each and every line and coming up with the questions. I'll show you both the way, right? And the second way is use technology, use artificial intelligence, use AI. Yes, that is also possible. So let me share my screen with you, and what I am going to do, basically, I will use this. Okay, I'll be sharing my screen with you, and please do let me know if my screen is visible. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so yeah, so I hope my screen is visible, right? So एक बार मुझे फटाफट please type in the chat also, so that I know that my screen is visible. Yeah. Yes. So now what we'll do, see, let's assume that, okay, let's look at case study, or let's look at some case point or case point, right? What is case study? Let's say case study, right? So let's look at this case study, and this is a, like, it's a live case study. Like, let's assume that, okay, you are given responsibility, to carry out internal audit of maintenance department in your organization, okay, as per the automotive QMS standard requirements. Okay, so this is the case study, right? You are given this responsibility as per, let's assume that you need to do audit, आपको audit करना है as per the ISO 9000 IATF 16949 2016, which is basically automatic QMS standard requirement. तो आपको audit करना है, right? So that's your responsibility. Now you are not given any checklist, you are not given any reference. So what is the first thing you will do? Of course, the first thing what is recommended is that yes, you definitely must study the SOP, standard operating procedures, or now it is called DP, documented process of your own organization. That is very, very important, right? So that's the first recommendation. The second is, of course, you must also be aware about the clause requirement. So let me write it down. Like, what's the first thing you will do? The first thing you will do is you must be aware about, like what is written in your documented process, right? So now, like, documented process is nothing but it is the standard operating procedure, right? So what is written in that? So that is something you must be aware about, right? So that's the first thing which you must be aware about. Okay, let me put my little bit, okay, थोड़ा सा मैं वीडियो को छोटा करता हूँ. Let me make my video smaller. Yes. So coming back to this, right? That's the first thing you will do. Okay, the second thing which is expected, is that you must be aware about the standard, right? Must be aware about standard clause requirements. So आपको जो requirement मालूम होनी चाहिए उस particular, for that particular department, right? For that particular department, what clauses will be required, like, and of course you can take help of your system people if you are not aware, and you can surely, like, if you have undergone the course through submastery, or we also run this course, like, and we also have a course of internal auditor course for IATF 16949, which thousands of people have taken this course and have got benefited. So you can also be a part of that community. And if you have undergone the, not necessarily sub-mastery, but if you have seriously undergone any course, you must be aware about, like, which department, which particular clause will be required, right? Okay, so you must be aware about the standard clause requirement. Okay, number 3 is that this, right? Number 3 is this, right? You must be aware about, like, any customer specific requirements, right? So this is not I'm going to cover today, right? Maybe in some other session I'll talk about this. Today I'm not going to focus on this CSR kind of thing because it's itself a big topic. And the fourth is that then you can come up with reference questions, or and create a checklist just for reference. Even you may or may not use that, but create a checklist from the standard clause. Okay, so this is something which is required. So let's assume you are given this responsibility to carry out the internal audit of the maintenance department as per the automotive QMS standard requirement, right? And think about this, right? Sometimes people feel how I can do that, right? Of course. So here the technology can help you. So I think this you can do, first you can do, and second, I assume that you are aware about that. And the third, of course, CSR, you must be aware, and how you can come up with this. So today, this is like something which I'm going to focus upon, right? How you can come up with a reference checklist. So there are two ways, like, what are those two ways? So one way, पहला तरीका क्या है? The first thing is that you basically study each clause, आप एक clause को पढ़ो, and then come up with a question. So let's do both the way, right? तो दोनों करके देखेंगे, with technology, without technology, with AI, without AI. Okay. So let's say that without artificial intelligence, we are doing this manually. Okay, so this is the clause requirement 8515, which is 8.5.1.5 total productive maintenance. Here it is TPM, does not mean that JIPM, TPM only means the the maintenance in this IATF language. So this is the standard language of IATF. So if you look at, like, the organization shall develop and implement maintain documented total productive maintenance system. Okay, if you study this line, right, and then what comes to your mind, like, what is required? What is the question you will ask, right? What question you will ask? You will ask, like, do you have documented SOP or documented process, or standard operating procedure for maintenance, right? That's what you will ask, right? That's the first question. Okay, and at a minimum the system shall include, now there are further points, like, let's also understand that. Let me enlarge this a bit. थोड़ा सा मैं इसको बड़ा कर देता हूँ so that it become easy for you. If you're watching in the mobile screen, so it will become easier. ठीक है, थोड़ा सा मैंने बड़ा कर दिया so that it become easier for you. Now, if you see, right, at a minimum, the system shall include verification of process equipment necessary to produce confirming product at the required volume. So, what question can come? What question can come, right? So here you can ask question like, do you have do you have list of equipments, right? And along with capacity, like if the capacity of the equipment is also written. Okay, availability of spare part. Like what question can come in the availability of spare parts? Oh, there are a lot many questions can be made from this. Like, do you have list of critical spare parts, or right? And you can ask if these spare parts, if these spare parts are identified, right? These are the questions, right? Identified. You can ask that what is the spare part monitoring system, right? Do you see, right, what we are doing? आप यहाँ देख रहे हैं, like what we are doing? We are basically looking at each and every line and then we are asking question. It's not like I'm not covering 100% of the point, but just to show you that this is a hard way, right? And you can do it, right? But it is going to take you a lot of time, and this is what I recommend. Like, of course I recommend, I don't say that you don't do this. So, but this is a hard way, right? So what is the easy way, and how we can use technology, how we can use artificial intelligence, how we can use tool like ChatGPT for free, which can help you to come up with this checklist. Are you excited? Please type excited in the comment, or even if you're watching this in the video at the later stage, just type excited, because I am going to see your comment, I'm going to like your comment, I'm also going to respond to your comments. Just write excited. So for many of you, it might be new. Those who are already a part of our community, right? Of course, those members must be aware about this. Okay. So if you look at this, is the one way, right? So now let me show you the yes. Just have excited in the comment if you're excited. I'll show you like how you can make, because it will take me, let's say, 15-20 minutes, or for the person who is less trained, it may take half an hour, 1 hour, or sometime more time, and then also there will be lot many gaps. But I'm going to show you easy way, right? I'm going to show you easy way, which of course, like all of you must be aware about, right? Is using ChatGPT like tool so that it become easier for you, right? So what do you need to do? So for that, just open a tool that is called chat.openai.com. Okay, so you can sign up on this particular tool, right? As you sign up on this particular tool, so there are two versions, GPT GPT 3.5 and GPT 3.4. Of course, GPT 3.5 is free, and I think like you do not need paid version. Of course, paid version is required. It's a $20 per month as of now. You can check the latest pricing. अभी ये paid version नहीं चाहिए. Paid version is only for power users, those who are using it, people who are writing blog or doing copywriting, or maybe software engineers. Of course, like as of now, the free version will do the stuff, will work for us, and I will also use the free version as of now. Although I have taken paid version, of course, it is required for us, but for you, the free version will be good enough, right? You can open this chat.openai.com and then you can sign up with your email ID, and then this is totally free for everyone, right? Now let's see what is that you are going to do, right? So okay, the first thing which you need to do, right? सबसे जरूरी चीज जो आपको करनी है, listen carefully. So ChatGPT, basically what has happened okay, so I thought the thanks. I thought there was some issue, so everything is well. I hope everything is good, right? Thank you. So let me where were we? Yes. So I was telling to you, right? Chat GPT like has been trained on billion of parameters, so it basically can help you in certain ways. Like it can help you in a way that where you yes, everything is good. So where you first need to give the role, right? And you give the role, and this is very important. You have to set the context, because it has been trained on a billion of parameters, right? And based on that knowledge, it can give you the new answer, and every time the answer will be unique. So first thing, like what do you need to do? Let's look here. Like you need to write this, okay? think that you are working in the manufacturing organization as internal auditor for quality management system. Okay, so you are given a task, you are given a task, okay, given a task to make the internal audit checklist, internal audit checklist based on IATF 16949 standard requirements, right? So what you have done, basically you have set the context. So basically you need to give the role play, right? So basically what is required, that you need to give the role play to the chat GPT. This is very important. If you do not set the context, then it may not give you the desired answer. Okay, so you say that based on I will give you okay, I will give you the standard clauses, and you need to come up with checklist. Okay, you need to come up with internal checklist. You need to come up with internal audit checklist based on those clauses. Okay, are you ready, or just you are just confirming ki you have given the context, right? Now ChatGPT says yes, I am ready to assist you in creating an internal checklist based on this. So now it is asking, please provide me. Okay, so ChatGPT now it will work like an assistant for you. So what do you do? What you now need to do? Right, you just take the clause requirements, and now we are doing that copy of the clause requirements. So now we are going to this, and now we'll say, okay, so let's make a internal audit checklist, right, in a question form covering these clauses. Now what you do here, we did. Now let's see the magic. Okay, so here I'm going to do the press button, and let's see the magic. Okay, so can you see, right? It is coming up with the questions. Have you deployed TPM system? Does your TPM system include identification of process equipment? Is there system to place availability of replacement parts? Have resource been allocated? Right? Can you see this? Does the packaging of and preservation of equipment? So can you see it has given me somewhere around 11 checklist. Now the thing is that, listen carefully. I think is that you it's not that always, like sometimes you need to talk with the chat gpt and you need to refine their answer. Now let's see that I will give next prompt. Like what I did is the prompt. Now I say that, okay, great, can you give me more detailed questions for each sub points, right, in the tabular form, right, along with what document I need to check or audit. Now I'm asking to make a table, right? And let's see how does it work out, right? Okay, can you see? Man, is it, if not, it is insane. Like it is now not only have given me the question to ask, but it is also asking me like what document to check. Like for example, can you maintain records? So it's asking me inventory. What is the agreement? It is talking about like what is your packaging of the spare parts, asking me are you maintaining these objectives, like what are the maintenance objective, is there a documented process for maintenance plan, corrective action plan. Can you see this, right? What do you think? Like if you like this, if you love this, see the point is that of course like most of the time it's not that you may not be able to use 100% of the output which chat gpt has given. ऐसा नहीं है कि 100% chat gpt ने दिया आप उसको as it is इस्तेमाल करो. It is your assistant and you can basically like it will give you 70-80% 50% work depending upon the certain use case. 50 से 60 70 80% भी आपको काम करके दे देगा. So that's on average what I have seen. Of course it is becoming like smarter. So 70% ये आपको काम करके देगा. 30% you need to add it. 30% you need to add, right? So it is just like your assistant. Now think about this, like you have come up with this 13 14 15 questions and it has given you those, right? So if you are amazed, if you like this, right, you can use this, right? So just type in the comment like yes, it has been trained on the multiple parameters. And if you want like further questions, like let's say if you also want, like, okay, so I want, let's say, let's also play with it, right? Okay, I want to make further more questions, or let's say, more questions uh, from each of the detailed questions for audit. Like, for example, now you're asking, like, like, basically we want that, like, I want you to ask more questions for each questions, right? A more number of questions. So basically what we are asking that, okay, so basically we want that to divide the question. Let's see how does it. I'm not sure whether I've given the best prompt. Basically prompt क्या होता है? Prompt is something like which you're talking, like, and nowadays there is something vacancies of prompt engineer. आजकल तो prompt engineer की vacancy भी निकल रही हैं. So prompt engineer are people those who are smart in talking with the AI. Let's see. Okay, so okay, can you see this, right? For the same questions, now it is giving me some detailed uh, sub question, right? Okay, so let me now write a final prompt, right? Okay, now can you give me the final minimum, let's say 50 point, I know it's very too many points, like 50-point checklist covering detailed questions in the tabular form, along with what document I need to check. Okay, let's see. So I'm asking to give me minimum 50 point. Let's see. Okay, so here it is. Like, can you see this? Like, it has worked. Like, have you identified all the necessary? Now it is give me a comparison list of equipment. Are these documented process functionalities? Like, is the list regularly reviewed? Can you see this? What is happening for each of the for each of the questions? It is asking sub questions. So can you see, right? Are these like replacement inventory available? And that's what you need to check, right? Are there any agreements for the replacement of these inventories or spare part with the suppliers? It has gone into that supplier agreements. Do you have supplier agreement with the for your replacement parts? Can you see like how much depth, like, it has gone, kitni depth mein chala gaya, and it is amazing. Now what do you think, right, friends? So if you find this useful, if you find this powerful, just write powerful in the comment, just write useful in the comment. Yes, so can you see this, right? It can work, it can work as an assistant for you. So how do you like this? If you like this, we love this. Yes, you can use this in any scenario. Right now we have taken the example of like right now we have taken the example for automotive QMS standard. You can definitely take like any other standard requirement. Of course, one thing, as I said, that you must be aware that which clause will come, right? कौन सा clause आएगा? So that is something you must be aware about. Okay, let's do one thing. Right now the example which we took of that from the maintenance, and that too from the IATF standard. Are you ready, guys, to take one more example from human resource? Yes, how many of you would like to audit HR department and want to make a checklist of that? Yeah, actually, many people would love to audit HR department. Yeah, so in the human resource, like there is a recruitment, training, and a lot many things, right? So now I will use like common example from the ISO 9001. So let's also look at that. Okay, so again, what thing you need to do? Same thing, because now you have set the context. Okay, so now you can straight away give the clause, and let me take this 9001 standard, and which is basically your 7.2 clause. If you look at 7.2, competence is basically the clause from standard, right? 9001 to 15. Okay, so now I'm telling you, okay, great, great. So can you come up with internal audit checklist for these clause requirements? Okay, so I have already set the context. So मैंने उसको context set कर दिया था पहले ही. So now I'm asking directly. Let's see how does it perform, right? Okay, so hey, can you see, right, what it has done? आप देख रहे हो इसको? I haven't told the ChatGPT to come up with the tabular form. I haven't told ChatGPT to come up with the documents to check, right? But what it is, it has remembered my old commands, because we are in the same window. So if you look at like, so it has remembered what my old command, and now you see that it has understood what I'm trying to ask. Okay, in the same window, if you look at, like, it is giving me, now it's also giving me like subclause 7.2a what to ask, what to 7.2b what to ask, although that is not mandatory, but आप ये देखो कि ये भी दे रहा है. So now have you determined necessary competence? This is what you need to do. Have you ensured the, like, and how individuals are competent, right? And can you see, like, we need to certificate, course record, competence, like, training documentation, right? And you can again, right, see, it is working with ChatGPT is like asking, giving them prompt is basically like, if you see, like Google, like how you can communicate with Google. Sometimes we want to search something but we don't know what is the exact word, and we end up, wasting our so much time, because if you know what are the words, it become easier for us. In the similar way, if you want to take work from ChatGPT, you must be aware about what questions to ask, and what is that question, asking question, that expertise, or that, competence is called prompt. So you must be aware of what prompt to ask. Of course, it's not that difficult. You will learn with time. So let's see. Let's say that I want. Okay, great. So it has given a good work. It is the ChatGPT. Thank you very much. You have done a good work. Now I want to make more detailed checkpoint, or more detailed questions under each section. Okay, so I'm asking, okay, can you come up with a more detailed question? Now let's see. Okay, so here you see that GPT is working, man. Okay, so here we come up with the final checklist. Of course, as I said, it's not 100% perfect. You can definitely, like, it's as of now it is more like an assistant, right? And of course it is doing work of a QMS assistant like kind of work, and you definitely should your own use your own editing. So if you look at, like, can you see, is there how this competence, like, can you see, it is asking some detailed question. Are educational qualification verified? Is the system for tracking documentation employee training? How relevant work experience is assessed? Can you see, right? It is asking me, okay, it is asking me, it is giving the more detailed question, like are these action play? Okay, can you provide evidence of training program attended by the employees? How effective is the training? You need to look at training evolution, right? What do you think? Don't you think that it can help you a lot? And even some people who are less competent, I'll not say less competent, but of course people, who they can become better auditors, like with the checklist. Of course, i'm I'm in favor of checklist, where you can use this as a reference, right? And the best checklist, as I said, is something which you can customize, and we can add it as per your organization. Even if you're not using checklist, pretty much okay, but this can act as a reference to you if you're using audit observation, right? So I hope, right, friends, that I did justice with this particular program, right? And now we have come to end of the session. So please type in the chat, like, if you love this, if you like this, like, do you want me to do more of this session? And those of who also want to be a part of our community, and who want to be, like, attend our session. So we are conducting this weekly live session on every week. You can come on this, you can click on this link. I'll also share the link. Oh, I've already, in the chat you can see the link is already pinned up, and we'll also share this in the description. So if you're watching this recording, so you can come to this, like, submas.com/IATF-webinar. You can register yourself as you click on this, right? And every week we are doing, so, like, you can register. As you register, you will also get access to our WhatsApp community, okay, where you also get update. So a lot of things is happening. I'm so excited. So that's it from my side, and I hope that I did justice with this program. So my dear learners, so now it's been more than I think 45 minutes, or close, we are like close to 45 minutes. So now what I'll do, I will look at some questions. I'm not sure, like, as I said, there might be some latency, but I would like to try to answer some of the questions looking at the chat. Like, let me also look at chat, and if you have some questions, you can also quickly type in chat. I would like to see how many of them I can reply. Okay, so I don't know why I don't see chat. So I'm just trying to see. Yes, please, do not forget to, in the meantime, subscribe and like, right? And yes, that's the first thing you should do, right? If you have already subscribed to our channel, that's good. If not, then please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. So अगर आपने channel को subscribe नहीं किया है, so please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Okay. Deepak Yadav, sir, how we can differentiate between short closed question and open long questions with ChatGPT AI. Okay, differentiate between short question, open long question. So Deepak, it depends like what kind of question you're asking, and if you can also specify I want short questions or I want long questions, right? So basically, if you look at checklist, there won't be too many long questions. There will be shorter question. So like you can give command to ChatGPT, and I believe that is what you're asking, right? So basically, like based on the output, you can definitely like change that output based on your command. So ChatGPT is more like assistant to you, and it is going to work as an assistant. Of course, we must be aware what exactly we want. हमें पता होना चाहिए हमें चाहिए क्या, right? Yes, please. You can type more question. Checklist should be used due to difficult retention experience. Make helpful to new. Yes, Murtaja, you absolutely are right. So I'm not against checklist, but what I'm asking is that what I'm telling is that external certification body auditors will never use checklist. The reason is because they do not want to identify hundreds of points, but even 10, 20 points, they want to go in depth. Much time checklists restrict them. But of course, for new auditors, many companies are using that. If you get sufficient time, and in that case, of course, checklist is something which is useful. And as I said, that make checklist based on your organization, customize that as per your organization requirement. That will be your best checklist. Okay, Swapnil is telling for product and process audit, yes, you are using checklist. Absolutely. So for product process, I highly recommend it. If you look at product audit, is generally most of the companies are doing audit as per the control plan. That's what many companies, and from incoming to outgoing at different stage of production, many companies are doing that approach. Following that approach, that is pretty much okay, and that is what IATF recommend. There may be some customer specific approach for process audit. Of course, there are companies who are using the checklist, and that is what I recommend definitely. In that case, product process audit checklist become more important, because you cannot go too much here and there, and tail-based audit is limited. Like of course you can do that, but product process audit checklists are highly recommended, and I haven't seen any companies not using checklist for product and process audit. हर company use करती है product process audit के लिए. Yes, suppose you are using the audit observation sheet. That's good. Yes, you can use the audit observation sheet. Even if you are not using the checklist, you are not using checklist to fill the data. अगर आप checklist use नहीं कर रहे हो data fill करने के लिए और writing the observation. Yes, one most important thing. Listen carefully. जो चीज अच्छी लगी आपको, the thing which you like, the thing which you found, it may be okay. That also need to be mentioned. अगर okay है तो भी mention करो. If you find the compliance, okay, I found this, I found that, and it is in compliance, that also you need to mention. Non-compliance, of course, or audit non-conformity, वो तो mention करना ही करना है. That is something you need to mention. But if you found something which is not compliance, that also something in compliance, that also you mention. Something you find not in compliance, that also you mention. दोनों mention करना है, right? Yes. Okay, so I think now we have come to end of the session. So thank you very much, everyone. So I'm so excited. Okay, so those who are new to our channel, please like and subscribe, because that's way we get motivated, and that's the way like we can reach more number of learners like you. And also share this, right? Share this channel, share this video in your official WhatsApp group, and people would love that. Why? Because this knowledge is something which is new. I think manufacturing people are a little bit less aware about ChatGPT. When I go to my offline session, I still give a lot many trainings in the campus and in the corporate world. And when I tell people about this ChatGPT capabilities, many people get amazed, and many people haven't used that, are not using enough as of now in the manufacturing. But of course, non-manufacturing IT people are using it in a huge way. So as I said, ChatGPT can help you out. Yes, it can do lot many things. It can help you to write your resume. It can help you to write your asking boss for promotion letter or resignation letter. Lot many things. Like it can do lot many things. The agenda of today's session was to focus on ChatGPT uses to take the help from ChatGPT in making checklists. So I hope you liked it. you love that. So you can see there's a link. So if you want to be a part of a committee, we are running a free session. Okay, and come to my free session. We take some requirement, we go in depth, where you also get option to ask me question in that particular session. That is something we are doing on as of now on Zoom. For that, like, you need to register. As I said, where you need to register, you need to register on the uh, you can see the link is like submastery.com/IATF-webinar. So we'll also drop the link in the WhatsApp, link in the description, right? Okay, so thank you very much, and yes, for making this first ever live YouTube session by Submastery. And because of you learners, because of you members, we are here. Our only one intention is to help you to make progress, so that you become powerful, you become knowledgeable, you help yourself, you help your family, help your organization, and help country, like, because this is very, very important. Thank you very much for being a part of this. Okay, so please like and subscribe channel, share this with your friends, so that we can come up with more such knowledgeable session. Okay, so thank you very much.